Hi there, Chelsea with Campus and Community Recreation, and I'm just going to lead you through a little stretching practice that you can do in the middle of your day, before your day, at the end of your day, multiple times. So if you're like me and you're set up at home, your body might be feeling a little bit less than wonderful. So I'm going to just go through a few movements that you can do to sort of undo tension and feel better in your body. Okay, so movement number one, getting up from your desk, and you're just gonna do some high knee marches and then add some big arm circles. So 10 in one direction. After you've done those 10 in one direction, then just go step to side step, step touch, and big arm circles in the other direction. So you just wanna get your body moving from sitting for however long you've been sitting. So that's movement number one. Okay, movement number two is just a gentle torso rotation. So I'm just gonna have my arms really loose, and I like to pivot off of the opposite foot, and I'm just twisting at the waist. I actually like to follow the direction of my arms because I get a little bit dizzy, a little bit of tension through the trunk as you do that, and let the arms be nice and heavy so that you can feel that opening through the chest and shoulders as those arms gently fly back behind you and that little bit of a twist through the spine. So that's number two. Okay, movement number three is an easy squat and reach. So if you want to squat all the way down to the ground, you're going to reach up towards the ceiling and come high up onto the balls of the feet. So you're just going to do 10 like that. So inhale down, exhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come high up onto the balls of the feet, and you can move as quickly or as slowly as you'd like. Nice big reach, nice deep squat. Number three, 10 times. Next movement, a little bit of a shoulder and back opener. So you can do this on a chair or a countertop. Taking the hands to your chair, walking the feet back so that your hips are stacked right over top of your ankles. A little bit of tension through your trunk, taking the arms overhead and just gently letting that chest melt down towards the floor. So one variation of this that I like is actually taking the arm and crossing it over, and that same leg is going to lengthen. So you're going to straighten one leg, bend the other, and just let your head drop under the armpit, come back, straighten the other leg, bend the other knee, cross that arm over to the other side, and just sink back into that heel of the straight leg. So again, keeping a little bit of tension through the trunk. Inhale, coming up to stand. That's number four. Okay, so fifth movement, you'll need something like, it can be a strap, a belt, a towel. You can actually use a broomstick or a dowel, but it's just gonna be a nice chest and shoulder opener. So you're gonna take your strap or whatever you're using up and overhead and just bring the arms down behind you, forward and up, keeping tension on whatever strap that you're using, and really avoiding doing the chest flare thing. So we want to keep the front ribs down and just rotating at the shoulders, keeping tension through the trunk 10 times forward and back, and always making as much tension or getting as much length on the strap as you need so that you can feel that opening through the chest, but you're also not having to sort of like twist your body to get that strap up and around. So it should just be nice and gentle, like so. Okay, next thing is little shoulder, tricep, and IT band or side of the leg. What you're gonna do is cross your feet over, be grounded through both feet as best you can. The same arm as your back leg, take it up and over, take the hand to the shoulder, or the elbow rather, and just a nice gentle side bend to the direction of your front leg. So again, keeping that front rib cage closed, bit of tension through the trunk, side bending to the side. You can hold that for 5 breaths or 10, or you can set a little timer, do 45 seconds, one side, and then you'll switch and do the other. So again, keeping shoulders and hips square to the front or the wall that you're facing. And there you go. Okay, next movement we have is a hamstring stretch. So you can do this heel dig forward, hinging at the hips, or if you want to get a little bit more, you can use your chair. So just extending one leg, flexing your toes towards your body, keeping the knees soft, and you're going to hinge from the hips. So we want to avoid the rounding through the spine, keeping the chest open, lots of length through the front body, hinging at the hips, and just gently reaching towards your feet. So goal is not to touch the toes, but just to find some length at the back of the leg. Again, you can hold for 5 to 10 breaths, or if you want to set that timer for 45 seconds on each side, that's your hamstring stretch. Okay, next we have glute and hip stretch. You can do this standing or seated. So if you want to play with a little bit of balance and control, just standing on one leg, crossing one leg over, top foot is flexed. Again, hinging at the hips, nice and long and flat through your spine, and just sitting down nice and low. You can take the arms forward for a little bit of counterbalance. So you can do that standing in a balanced position, or you can just sit at the edge of your chair, cross one leg over. Again, that top foot is flexed, open through the front body, and just gently hinging forward so you can feel that opening through the hip and the glute. Okay, next stretch we have is for the hip flexors, which get really tight if we're doing a lot of sitting. So you can do this standing or kneeling, your choice. You can take one foot forward, one foot back, coming into a bit of a lunge position. We can take that same arm as the back leg up and take it to a side bend towards the front or bent knee. If you want to come down, if you have a mat or a cushion, you can drop the back knee. Again, we're keeping the front ribs closed, taking that arm high, and a little side bend towards that front knee. So you're, again, both sides, either 45 seconds or 5 to 10 breaths. Okay, second last is we're just going to come into a basic child's pose. Nice to open the quads if coming into this kneeling position is accessible to you, and opening the hips and the low back. So you're just going to come down onto the floor. I like the knees separated, just about a yoga mat width distance apart. You're going to hinge forward at the hips, hands come forward, the forehead can come to the floor. You can make this active. And again, if that flexion in the knees doesn't feel good for you, you can elevate the hips above the knees and bring the forehead down. You're still getting that shoulder extension. So child's pose, second last. Okay, so the last stretch that we'll come into is a supine butterfly. So if you want to come down onto the floor, you're just going to bring your feet together, so the bottoms of the feet to touch, lowering yourself down onto your back and just letting those knees fall open. So this is a nice one that you can just hold for a few minutes. It's a nice restorative posture. It's nice when we open the hip flexors. It's a nice release for the low back. So you can just hang out here, rolling the shoulder blades underneath the body, letting those knees open. And again, you can hold for 45 seconds or just give yourself a few minutes to unwind and relax before you get back to your next activity.